wholesome root, so that Devadatta was able to see all of this.
我们所说的慈善，就是说，慈善有无量无边的范围，有无量无边的内容，所以它显出来的能力也是无量无边的。
Because the content of the power of the kindness and wholesome, it is immeasurable. Therefore, the strength is also immeasurable.
复次善男子，焦沙罗国有诸群贼，其数500。
Further, O good man, in the state of Koshala, there were 500 robbers.
500表示是很多的这些盗贼，他们还聚在一块儿。
500 means many, and these many thieves gather together.
群党抄劫危害滋甚。
These robber band plunder and wreak much chaos.
那就是说，让很多人民受到损害。
And cause many damages to the people.
波斯匿王唤其众暴遣兵四谷，得以挑眼，睡着黑暗丛林之下。
Worry over their misdeeds, King Prasennaji dispatched some soldiers who, hiding under cover, caught the band. Having been caught, their eyes were taken out, and they were taken to a dark forest and left there.
所以把他们逮捕之后，把他们眼睛弄瞎了，把他们都送到黑暗的森林里面去。
And so after arresting them, make them blind, and then left them in the dark forest.
让他们出不来呀，
So they cannot escape, come out of it.
出不来自己饿死了。
And they would be starved to death.
是诸群贼于仙佛，此众得本既失目矣，受大苦恼，各作是言：南无佛陀，南无佛陀，我等今者无有救护，啼哭嚎啕。
These robbers had in the past planted virtue under the Buddha. Having lost their eyes and in great pain, they cried out, Namo Buddhaya, Namo Buddhaya. We now have no one to help us. They wept and cried out loudly.
你看这些盗贼啊，过去是佛弟子，
You see, all these thieves, in the past, they were Buddhists.
但是结交了坏朋友，就走坏了。
But they befriended the bad people and became one of them.
所以我们要很谨慎，我们是佛弟子，我们也会这一生也会走错路，但是要听善知识的话。
And so we have to be careful, because if we don't, it's also possible to be on the wrong path.
对经典绝对不要怀疑。
And therefore we should listen to the good knowing advisor and not have any suspicions on the sutra.
对于善知识的话不懂，不要有意见来反抗。
And if we cannot understand the advice given by the good knowing advisor, do not
要有自己意见，
do not have your own opinion.
因为你慢慢从经典上就会得到答案。
Because gradually you will get the answer from the sutra.
不要着急，
Do not hurry.
因为所有我们日常生活上所碰到的点点滴滴、各种问题，经上面佛都有教我们怎么做。
Because everything that we encounter in our lives, Buddha will teach us how to deal with it.
况且我们的老师到现在还点点滴滴在教我们。
And also our master, even nowadays, is still teaching us little by little.
所以对于佛菩萨的教导，可千万不要掉以轻心。
Therefore, do not pay too little attention to the advice of the Buddha and Bodhisattva.
对于老师的教导，你不要看得轻轻松松，不当一回事。到时候你80 字上面的业出来的时候是不饶你的。
And do not take seriously the advice given our master, because our
八识上的业。
karma from the eighth consciousness will not be easy on us.
我时住在齐桓精舍，闻其音声，即此慈心。
I was staying at the Jatavana at that time. On hearing their cry, kindness overcame me.
慈心一起，你看，时有凉风吹，香山中种种香药，满其眼眶，循环得眼，如本如意。
Then a cool wind sprang up, which blew and filled the cavities of their eyes with fragrant medicine, and their eyes returned, and there was no difference from before.
所以慈悲心一起，各种不同的灾难就有各种不同的解决方法，就能够让众生受益。
Therefore, once the kindness and the compassion thought arises, there will be a solution to all kinds of the suffering.
诸贼开眼，即见如来伫立其前而为说法。贼闻法已，发阿耨多罗三藐三菩提心。
The robbers opened their eyes and saw that the Buddha was standing before them, preaching Dharma. Having heard the Dharma, the robbers expired to bring forth the result for Anuttara Samyasambodhi.
眼睛可以看到了，又见到了佛，又听佛说法，这时候发心了。
They could see with their eyes, and they saw Buddha, and they hear the Buddha Dharma, and so they make the result for the Bodhi mind.
善男子，我有耳时，时不作风，吹香山中种种香药，住其人前而为说法。善男子，当知皆是慈善根力，令彼群贼见如是事。
O good man, I at that time did not cause the cool wind to arise, and wept fragrant medicine, nor did I stand before them. O good man, know that this was all the result of the power of kindness and wholesome brew that made things thus come about.
再看下面一个例子。
Let's look at the next example.
复是善男子琉璃太子，以愚痴故废其父王，自立为主。
Further, O good man, Prince Vijudaba, due to ignorance, did away with his father and ascended the throne.
大家还记得吗？琉璃太子就是指二舍四王，他的父亲就是波斯匿王。
Do we remember the Prince Vajutaba was the king of the Ursa and
第几个？
这个好像也有。
有。复念数贤，多害侍女。他呢，对于释迦种的女人，他过去跟他们结冤，所以他要害释迦种的女人。
Also, recalling a long-standing hatred, he killed many of the Shaka clan.
后面继续。
i.e. the Buddha's own clan.
所以呢，他就把很多的这些释迦种的这些女人呐、把她鼻子给割了，把她的手脚给她切断了，把她丢到这个坑里面。
And so he cut off 12,000 Sakya women were taken prisoner. As a punishment, their ears and noses were chopped off. Their hands and legs were cut off, and they were thrown into holes in trenches.
那这些女人呢，受到了很大的苦，这时候只有求佛了。
And these women went through so
念
much.
这个句，念句，我解释这个，你就不必我不必解释两次，念句。
Then the females, oppressed by pain, said, Namu Namo Buddhaya, Namo Buddhaya. We helpless. They also wept and cried.
那么佛一听到这些女人，知道她们过去种了善根。
All of these females had already amassed wholesome root in the time of Buddhas before.
所以活在竹林里面，听到这些声音就起了慈悲心。
On that occasion, I was at the bamboo grove. Hearing their cry, kindness overtook me.
慈心一起，那么这些女人呢，就看到佛到了毗迦城来，以水把他们的创伤把它洗干净，然后给他们涂药。
All the females saw that I, at that time, had come to the Kapila Vastu, and that I was washing their wounds with water and applying medicine to them.
所以，当我们这里看到一个佛怎么处理这一些创伤的方法，就是说，当我们有创伤的时候，跌倒也好，割伤也好啊，先把这个脏东西洗掉，然后再涂药。
Therefore, we see here how Buddha handles a wound. Whether this wound was caused by a slip or caused by a cut, we first have to clean the wound and then apply medicine.
就是我们现在的这个医学是这么样处理的，是不是？
This is how the current day medicine treats it also.
所以呢，苦痛都除掉了，耳鼻呢这些都恢复原来的。
Their pain gradually abated, and the ears, noses, hands, and legs were restored to them, just as
这
before.
时候佛就给他们说法，而且让他们发心。
I then, in a simple way, spoke about the essence of Dharma, and they all aspired to bring forth the result for Anuttara Sannyasa Bodhi.
那么佛就把他们都送到大爱道比丘尼的地方，让他们出家受具足戒。
They took refuge at the place of the Mahaprajapati, i.e. the Buddha's aunt and the adopted mother, and received the Upasampada.
善男子，如来尔时，十部往至迦毗罗城，以水洗疮，涂药止苦。善男子，当知皆是慈善根力，令彼女人得如是事。
O good man, it was not the case that Tathagata at that time went to Kapilavastu and washed their wounds with water, applied medicine, and stopped the pain. O good man, note that this came about as a result of the power of kindness and wholesome root, which enabled the woman to experience these things.
行慈善的力量显出来的功德，跟行悲心喜心的善根力量，也是会显出来这些功德。
Practicing the power of the kindness and the merit that arises from it, it is the same as practicing the compassion and the joy. The merit also arises.
善男子以是义故，菩萨摩诃萨修慈思维，即是真实，非虚妄也。
O good man, for this reason, the thinking of kindness practiced by the Bodhisattva Mahasava is true and not false.
修慈心就是去做，做了就有根，那么别人受益是真实的，不是假的。
Practicing kindness, it has root. Once there is root, it is true, not false.
善男子，夫无量者不可思议。
O good man, limitless means inconceivable.
也就是说，慈悲喜舍，点点滴滴，时时刻刻去做，它是很多很多的，没有办法算得清的。
In other words, the kindness, compassion, joy, and offering is limitless.
菩萨所行不可思议，
What the Bodhisattva does is inconceivable.
因为菩萨是点点滴滴，时时刻刻，只要有机会，都会让众生受益。
Because Bodhisattva constantly doing deeds to benefit the living beings.
诸佛所行亦不可思议，
What the Buddha does is also inconceivable.
诸佛所行的比我们行的更宽，众生无法了解。
What Buddha does is much wider than Bodhisattva, and it is impossible for the ordinary beings to understand.
大乘典大涅盘经亦不可思议。
The same applies to this Mahayana Great Nirvana Sutra too, which is likewise inconceivable.
因为大般涅盘经就是佛49年讲经的一个结晶。
Because the great Nirvana Sutra, it is the essence of the 49 years of preaching by the Buddha.
它是大乘经典，
It is a great vehicle sutra.
它里面的内容非常丰富，
The content is very rich.
里面照着去做，所行出来众生受益的也是不可思议。
If practiced in according to the sutra, then the benefits to the living beings is also inconceivable.
你只要听到大般涅盘4个字，就都不可思议的功德了。
If we hear the 4 words, the Mahayana Great Nirvana Sutra, the virtue is also inconceivable.
所谓不可思议的功德，就是可以离苦。
Inconceivable virtue means being able to depart from suffering.
但是要毁谤大般涅盘经，那个罪也很深。
But if one wants to slander the Mahayana Great Nirvana Sutra, then the karma is also inconceivable.
我现在就了解为什么老师的老师要我们那个时候在讲经的时候，每天要读大般涅盘经。
I now understand why the Master of Master want us to recite the Great Nirvana Sutra 1 chapter every day.
所以我们在老师要开经、开始讲华严经跟大般涅盘经的时候，都不是很顺利。
So at the beginning, when the Master was trying to start preaching the Avatamsaka Sutra and the Great Nirvana Sutra, it was not so smooth.
要到听说我们开华严经，我们打算开华严经，都向后延了将近7、8个月才能够开始讲。
For example, when we're trying to preach
老师
when the Master was trying to preach the Avatamsaka Sutra, it was delayed for about 7 to 8 months.
那么讲大般涅盘经也是同样的，开不了。
And for the Great Nirvana Sutra, it was the same.
一直到所有听经的那些人受了菩萨戒，那就开了，可以开始讲。
Only until when all the students took the precept of the Bodhisattva were we successfully able to begin preaching the Great Nirvana Sutra.
因为华严经是佛最早讲的经，大般涅盘经是佛涅盘之前最后一部经。
Because the Avatamsaka Sutra was the first sutra preached by Buddha, and the Great Nirvana Sutra was the last sutra preached by Buddha before Buddha entered Nirvana.
我们今天讲到这里。
We'll end our lesson here.
Put upon the verse of transference.
May the
Truth
merit
and virtue accrue from this work. Adorn the Buddha's pure ends, retaining 4 kinds of kindness above, and aiding those suffering in the 3 paths below. May those who see and hear of this all bring forth the result of Bodhi.
愿以此功德庄严佛净土，上报四重恩，下济三途苦。若有见闻者，悉发菩提心。
我们每个人讲2分钟，从
今天讲的就是要慈善根利，然后慈善根利显出的作用和效果。
Today we talked about beholding the power of the kindness and wholesome root and the functionality of that.
而且 今天学到很多佛做的一些事情，举的一些例子，让我们更加了解这个慈善根利。佛当时是用在自己的敌人，还有自己一般社会看不起的低层的、低级的一些人物身上。
And from the example, we saw that Buddha uses the power on those who were the enemies of Buddha, and also those who have very low social ranking in the society.
这些例子就是紧扣今天的主题，就是要去做，就像普贤菩萨就给我们做的榜样。
And so this example tells us we have to put the Dharma into practice, just like Bodhisattva Samantabhadra as an example.
好，我们这边。
This was this lesson really seemed to be opening my mind. When you travel with many people in a group, you're not alone, and so you see beyond that appearance of everyone's in a different place.
严谨请看。
今天让我大开眼界，让我觉得跟每一位一起旅行，跟我平时看到他们的样子是不一样的。
Now, everything that seemed to be brought up seemed to be coming through the things that I saw when I was on this trip for 2 weeks.
在这旅途中，我所看到的一切，遇到的一切。
I see what it takes to be on the path, and what it takes not to be on the path. But they're all what they said at the end. They're all inconceivable, but they're in different levels.
我之前所遇到的一切，都是在不同程度上是不可思议的。
And I saw places where I could have been caught up in what they're doing, and it would have been annoyance because it's not right. It's not right.
我看到他们所做的有一些东西，我觉得是不对的。
But they don't see it. They don't see it.
但是他们没有看到。
So it's up to me individually to take this whole lesson within myself for me to grow even stronger in my own path.
我自己看起来，这为我自己以后我可以。
And I got all of this as tired as I am today.
另外，我真的觉得自己很累。
Because I was like,
不容易。
It's not easy.
I know, it's not. I thought I got a big cup of coffee, it didn't work.
下面。
今天上课讲到最重要就是慈悲。慈悲，我们一般讲慈悲，往往就是不会树立一些敌人。
Today we are talking about compassion. Being compassionate is not to have enemies.
之前学佛法说，我们人往往没办法改变世界，往往是要从自己的心清净的世界就清净了。但是，其实我们在日常生活上用慈悲的话，往往可以改变一些外在的事情。
Very often we say that we are unable to change outside world. We need to have a peaceful mind, and to have a peaceful mind, we can do something.
所以慈悲，我们日常生活上要如何把慈悲运用在生活上，就是要先解决众生的问题，接下来跟他讲佛法，然后他们有充实之后，然后让他们发菩提心。
How to utilize compassion to solve our daily problems and to save others. This is very crucial.
今天呢，就是学到，其实就是之前像讲的那个慈悲喜舍啦，然后就是说所谓的，还有今天还有多讲的那个慈跟善。
Today we are talking about compassion, kindness, joy, and offering.
然后所谓要行这些事情，一定要先自己要先看好自己的念头，比如说你要行善念头，还有行善事，然后 后解决，就是说你看到不好的事情，你要对方有些困难的事情，你要知道怎么去帮他解决。
In order to help others with problems, we need to have our own wholesome mind and wholesome mood.
你帮人家解决困难的问题越多，你自己学习的也多，你的经验还有你学习的东西也越多。
The more we help others, the more we gain.
就这样子。
This is it.
How about you?
Well, I just want to share a story and comparison that came up in my head based on a theme from tonight's class.
今天我想要比较一下我学到的东西，还有我的经历。
One of the key concepts is that one must possess all of the 11 categories of the Bodhi mind in order to truly embody it.
今天我们是要知道11种
菩提心的内容。
菩提心的内容。
I think one of the greatest barriers that prevents many from bringing forth the Bodhi mind is the actual act of not being aware that they don't possess the Bodhi mind.
我觉得最大的挑战就是我们不了解我们的菩提心。
They may think that they do, but in reality they don't.
很多时候我们觉得我们知道，事实上是不知道。
For example, I used to be a meat eater a little less than 5 months ago.
5个月之前，我曾经是肉食者。
Yet at the same time, I was in an English class with the philosophical theme of the nature of justice itself.
我曾经在同时间，我在上一门哲学课，是关于正义的自然原则。
I argued passionately about what justice and compassion actually is, yet there I was eating double quarter pounders with bacon after McDonald's after class.
一边我们在讨论说什么是慈悲，一边我下课之后在麦当劳里面吃的是培根4分之一。
By mere chance, I acquired a part of the Bodhi mind, compassion for all sentient living beings, when Jeff introduced me to Buddhism class after having shared my ideas from that English class with him.
当我跟 Jeff 分享我们在课上所学到东西的时候，那后来我就来参加这个佛学课。那在这个时候，我就得到了一点慈悲的感觉。
Now, I know for sure that I had always had that part of the Bodhi mind, but for some reason I wasn't able to bring it forth on my own.
菩提心，我一直都有这个感觉，只是我没有办法把它带到我生活当中去，更进一步。
I wonder if I would have ever stopped eating meat without Jeff's intervention, but I don't believe in hypothetical situations.
如果没有认识 Jeff 的话，我不知道我会不会成为一个素食者。但是因为这是一个假设的问题，所以我进去。
Now, there are many factors as to why one may remain unaware of one's ignorance, but one significant factor is individuals who purposely ignore their lacking of the Bodhi mind, despite realizing that they lack it.
很多时候 perfect.
Now there are many factors as to one.
就是有很多一个人就是对于我们自己的无知是有很多的原因。那我了解到就是其中一个没有菩提心，我
They purposely lack the Bodhi mind, but they realize that they lack it.
是故意的，就是故意的忽略了我们，就是我们故意忽略自己，我们是没有这个菩提心的，然后我们又不去了解它。
These individuals,
continue.
Okay, sorry. These individuals influence others who may have good intentions, such as myself.
那就是它可以影响到别人，就是有比较好的动机。
Of course, I remain steadfast in making sure that I bring forth my Bodhi mind today.
那我现在确定，我现在有那个菩提心。
Sometimes I wonder if I truly want to be compassionate or just want to feel the pleasures of being compassionate.
有些时候我自己也想要问的就是，我自己是真的想要慈悲吗？还是我只是想要享受拥有慈悲带来的那种快乐？
Only when I see and actually experience suffering itself do I think that I truly feel compassionate.
只有当我们自己遇到困难的时候，我才真正意识到自己是需要有慈悲的。
So I wonder, do we actually require suffering first in order to then get rid of it? If I'm not mistaken, Buddha only began to decrease suffering after having gone through suffering himself.
那我们是不是说一定要经历过了困难之后，才接着把它拿掉呢？